Hello boys and girls from Solid Rock Church. You're here with me, Michaela, and we are so happy to have you here with us for Children's Church Online this week. I hope that you've had a great week. You're all back to school. I hope that it's so nice seeing your friends again, your teachers, and that you're all doing your homework and working really, really hard. Last week you had Veronica and Maro who were talking to you all about faith, and they had some wonderful examples for you. They done a great job, didn't they? Well, this week with me we're going to be talking about a very famous Old Testament Bible story. Stay tuned after this.
A long time ago, the people of Israel were behaving very badly. They did not do what God wanted them to do, which made God very upset. They also did not want God to rule them. Finally, God decided to teach them a lesson and sent the Philistines to rule over them.
Well, they did not want to follow the path I have shown. Now they will see what happens.
The Philistines were very evil people and tormented and tortured the Israelites. However, though God was angry with the Israelites, He also loved them a lot and couldn't see them being tortured for long. God then decided that He would send a very strong Nazirite, one who would be dedicated to the Lord, to free the Israelites from the rule of the cruel Philistines. He chose a childless couple, Manoah and his wife, who lived in the city of Zorah. When God visited them and told them that soon a son would be born to them, they were overjoyed.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much for hearing our prayers.
Listen carefully, Manoah. The son who will be born to you will be very strong. But you have to make sure that his hair is never cut. He will free the Israelites from the evil Philistines.
As God had said, soon a son was born to Manoah and his wife. They named him Samson.
Look how beautiful and strong our son has grown up to be. His hair looks like the mane of a lion.
Yes, and as the Lord said, he is as strong as a lion.
Samson fell in love with a lady who was a Philistine. When he told his parents about it, they were very upset.
You know how the Philistines are, and still you want to marry one of them? What is wrong with you, son?
Just because she is a Philistine doesn't mean she has to be bad.
Manoah and his wife had no choice but to give in to Samson's wish, and they set about making arrangements for the marriage. However, Samson's mother was very sad.
Oh Lord, have mercy. We don't know how to convince our son not to marry a Philistine woman.
Before the marriage could take place, Samson realized that the woman he was about to marry had betrayed him. He became very angry and called off the wedding.
Thank the Lord, our prayers have been answered.
After some time, Samson visited the valley of Sorek. There he saw a woman named Delilah, with whom he immediately fell in love.
You are very lovely. I would like to marry you.
When the Philistines came to know about Samson's love for Delilah, they went to her.
We hear the mighty Samson has fallen in love with you. Is that true?
Yes, sir. He has told me so.
Well, then, we want you to do something for us.
Tell me, sir, what can I do for you? I will do my best to do as you desire.
We want to know the secret behind Samson's strength. so that it will be possible for us to defeat him.
I will try my best to find out, sir.
So one day, when Delilah saw that Samson was in a good mood, she asked him,
Everyone fears you, Samson. Tell me, what is the secret behind your success?
What do you want to know, dear Delilah?
I want to know everything about you. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong at all. Well, if I were to be tied up with fresh bowstrings which have not been dried, then my strength would be lost, and I would be like any other man.
Really? Let me try and see for myself. Come here. I am going to tie you up with fresh bowstrings.
Delilah quickly tied up Samson with bowstrings, and then shouted loudly so that the Philistine men who were hiding outside could hear.
Samson, look! The Philistines are coming.
Samson quickly got up and stretched. The bowstrings snapped as though they were made of cotton.
You lied to me. This shows that you do not love me.
No, Delilah. Of course I love you.
Delilah kept nagging Samson to tell her the secret of his strength all the time. Finally, Samson got fed up and told her,
My real strength lies in my hair. My life is dedicated to God, and I have never cut my hair. If my hair were to be cut, my strength would also go.
Are you really telling me the truth this time?
Yes, Delilah, that is the truth.
Delilah sent a message to the Philistines that night, telling them that she now knew the secret to Samson's strength. So when Samson slept that night, a Philistine man came quietly into his room and cut off his hair. This time, when Delilah shouted that the Philistines had come, Samson did not have the power to fight them.
Oh, I have been betrayed.
The Philistines took away Samson and put him in prison. The evil men even gouged his eyes out.
We have finally been able to subdue our enemy. No one can beat us now.
Blind Samson was made to grind grain in prison by the cruel Philistines. They enjoyed seeing him suffer.
The person I loved and trusted let me down. I will take my revenge. God, help me.
While in prison, Samson's hair slowly started growing back, and his strength also started returning, but the Philistines were not aware of it. Soon after, a feast was organized by the Philistines for offering a sacrifice to their god, Dagon.
Why don't we get Samson the Great to entertain us during the feast?
What a great idea! We shall see how strong he is now! Ha 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 ha!
The guards of the prison were instructed to bring Samson to the temple where the feast was being held.
Come on, Samson. Everyone is waiting for you to show them your great strength. Oh God, just once more, please, give me my strength back. I have to pay these Philistines back for making me blind. I pray to thee, my Lord. Help me.
The guards led Samson to the temple where the feast was being held.
You wait here. Let us go and check where they want you to perform.
The guard left Samson standing between the two main pillars on which the temple stood. Samson could hear a lot of noise. He understood that there were many people gathered in the temple. As he groped around with his hands, he felt the pillars on either side of him.
Once again, I pray to thee, my Lord. Give me the strength to avenge the evil that the Philistines have done. I wish that I also should die along with them.
Samson positioned himself firmly between the pillars, spreading out his arms. He then used all the strength he had to push the pillars. When he did that, the pillars fell down, and the roof of the temple came crashing down, killing all the people inside. In this way, in one stroke, Samson killed more Philistines than he had in his entire life, though he also got killed in the process. When news of what had happened reached his family, his brothers and other members of his father's family rushed there.
Let us take our dear brother's body and give him a decent burial, which he deserves.
Samson's family took his body to Zorah and buried him between the towns of Zorah and Eshtaol, in the tomb where his father Manoah lay.
Now, boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed that video. So we're looking at the story of Samson, and in particular, Samson and Delilah. And what we learn from this Bible story is that Samson was given a God-given purpose from birth, that he was there to save God's people from the oppression and the destruction of the Philistines. And Samson was so strong. He was one of the strongest men ever in the world. But that strength, Samson didn't have it. It was God who gave it to Samson. And we've seen that Samson was so strong in front of men, but it was a woman who brought out his weakness. So he trusted Delilah when Delilah was actually the one who was trying to trick him to find out how he could lose all of his strength. And because Samson told Delilah, she was able to then cut off all of his hair, and Samson lost his strength. And what we learn in this is that God had given Samson a major goal in life and a purpose in life. And Samson had taken his eyes off what his mission was for God, to bring and set free God's people under the Philistine rule, and instead lost vision and just got totally blinded by Delilah and how much he loved Delilah, even though she was not a nice lady, and tricked Samson. And in the end, Samson lost his strength. And Samson had to learn the hard way that although he was strong, it's God who gave him that strength. And that when he lost it, it was taken away. Samson couldn't do anything on his own strength. So Samson got taken to prison, and he prayed to God while he was there. But what happened? Samson's hair started to grow back, and he started to get his strength again. Why? Because Samson couldn't make it happen. It was God who was restoring it back to him as Samson prayed and cried out to God and turned back to God after the mistakes that he had made. And what we learn in the story is that they took Samson's eyes out when they put him in prison. And what's crazy, boys and girls, is that Samson had been blind but still had his eyes, but was blind because of love and distracted and disobedience to what God had called him to. And then ironically, he was made physically blind then. And what they did is they took him out to make fun of him. They took him out to a celebration in the temple to make fun of him. And Samson prayed to God and said, God, please restore my strength just this one time. And he felt the pillars so much that he ended up fulfilling some of the purpose that God had given him, in that he killed a lot of the Philistines, but sadly ended up having to sacrifice himself also. And what we learn from this story, boys and girls, is that God has a plan for all of our lives. And we've seen with Samson how quickly his disobedience and how distracted he was by sin resulted in him losing all of the amazing gifts and plans that God had given in him before he was even born. It was declared over him. And like us, we have to be so on guard to the people, to what we're watching, how we're playing, all these things, because sin can distract us and look so tempting in comparison to what God has for us. And there is nothing that compares to the plans that He has for you. Boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed this video. We'll see you again next week. I hope you have a wonderful week and that you enjoy your week of school. And we'll be back with you again next week. Bye!